Okay, here we go. We're
Let's
recording
do it.
with zero technical difficulties on the very important episode, Chicanery, where we left off with the Jimmy and Kim talking to Chuck and Howard, and we're rolling into this hearing. Tensions are high. Gus is in the show, etc., etc. Let's just go into it. Jeez.
Oh yeah, blast of the past.
Yeah, it's got that past hue. Good eye.
If I don't do it.
No, it's all right. We're not gonna. When you're done here, would you get some more lamps in the garage? Thanks.
They're
So,
setting
we
up
got a
his
phone,
house.
The yard's half mowed. The sockets and stuff are looking A-OK.
They're setting something up.
Just to make sure we're almost there.
Good. Good. What do you think? On? Off?
Oh, I think off.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, off it is.
God. That looks good. These episodes are really playing with my hunger.
And two San Cristobal hasn't been paying his bills. And of course, I'm 215.
That's very
Ooh.
interesting.
Ooh.
That Chuck came up with a number mix-up lie in the past, and then Jimmy uses that same lie to get Chuck, which further explains why Chuck was immediately able to be like, it was fucking Jimmy.
Yeah.
That is so interesting.
Exactly. They say they'll have it on again by tomorrow. In the meantime, I borrowed some camping gear. No, Jimmy. You don't have
least
to.
I can do is the dishes.
Thank you.
It's also interesting that when Chuck first met Rebecca, or sorry, Jimmy first met Rebecca, Chuck was like almost embarrassed and just ready for her to be done with him. But now in this lie, like Jimmy's kind of instrumental to making it work.
Yeah.
Just kind of using Jimmy when applicable.
And like it's kind of crazy because like Chuck is like using Jimmy's like specialty to try to win Rebecca back right now. So
Yeah.
what's happening.
Exactly.
It's so yeah.
This turned out better.
He's very much playing with his rule book.
So sorry about the lights.
Oh, it's nice. Atmospheric. No, Yeah, hold on one second. Yeah, we can do whatever you need. Okay. All right, shoot.
So she doesn't know.
Yeah, so this is after she's left him, but it seems like he's doing everything he can to make sure she doesn't know that he's devolved into what he's become at this point.
Chuck.
All right.
Well, do you want me to rehearse the cello separately?
Rebecca.
Oh, Chuck.
Well, no, it's not just him.
It is incredibly bad manners to answer a cell phone in company.
Chuck,
very
no.
I'm sorry.
Hide it underneath my
I
desk.
didn't know that you felt that way. I didn't mean to offend you, Chuck.
What's happening? I don't know what's
I
happening.
may have overreacted. That was very
What?
abrupt.
No,
I'm under my desk.
I
Can't see anything.
What? Wait, what's happening?
I'm scared.
What are you talking about, Joe? Are you fucking with me?
Play the show.
Watch the television show, Joe.
It's getting late. Thank you for a lovely dinner.
Oh,
But I should-
were you cringed into submission?
Yes.
No. I'll just get a cab. I don't want to put you out anymore.
Please let me.
No, really. A cab is the easiest.
Fucking oof, man.
Gotta do something. You can't let her leave like this. Just tell her what's going on.
No. No.
She'll understand. Would you rather she think you're a raging prick than know the truth?
No.
Look, if you won't tell her, then I will.
No. 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 You will not tell her. You will not tell her.
All right.
Hi, Andre. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I dropped the phone.
Damn. That ego.
The guy that does this intro needs to get better at holding his camera. He just goes the entire time.
Joe, that's intentional.
I know. Is it?
Yes.
It's Jimmy the Goldfish.
Yes. Thank you. You're so ahead of the game, Joe. I have a patent goldfish
Jesus,
theory.
what are you doing, man? There's barely any oxygen in that bag. You're suffocating her. Her? Yeah, just because you don't see swinging dicks doesn't mean you can't tell a boy fish from a girl fish.
Is that
Oh, yeah, see, now I can see the lipstick.
Is that who?
the vet Mike sees?
Yes, and
Okay.
I believe this is the first time we see Jimmy seeing
She's a
him.
living creature.
Yeah.
It's not a piece of furniture. So after this, you take her home. I got just a guy then.
He calls Mike again. It's like,
God damn it.
That'd be kind of fucking funny.
McGill is slinging. He's not going to screw me out of the best outside counsel I've ever had.
Aw.
Kevin and Paige are great.
I'm so glad to hear that.
it's a shame they get capped by the capos.
Yeah.
And now the most important thing, dinner. 7 good for you?
Works for me.
We'll talk strategy.
Don't you love shows that address potential plot holes and then resolve them with talking instead of
Yeah.
just letting stuff happen and never communicating?
Oh no, I forgot the fleet was there.
That's why this is the best episode in Better Call Saul.
I mean that's in every Better Call Saul episode though. Like people talk, unless like they deliberately do not talk. That's part of the plot.
It's not going to be a problem. I am.
I wonder if you'd give us a moment. I'd like to go over something with my colleague.
No problem. I'll be outside when you're ready.
An interesting character now in this season.
Huh?
Howard, I want to know what's going on in his head in this whole situation.
Yeah.
I feel like he's very angry.
Yeah. If you analyze his dialogue carefully, you can discern which way he leans.
How you feeling, Chuck? I'll muddle through, because this is a lot to ask. And if you're not up to it, just throwing this out there. But one of my jobs is to safeguard the firm's reputation.
This is not the time to worry about how we look. This is about what's right and what's wrong.
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
not going to risk Jimmy getting.
Did he just
what,
say it was
years
PR?
suspension?
No. He said it. That's so weird because I watched a group react and they had the same mistake. He said it was PR as if that's the conclusion Howard was cut. Or like, he said this isn't about. He said this is about PR in the sense that like that's what Howard is saying, but that's not what Chuck is saying.
Okay.
Does that make
I
any
see.
sense?
Yeah.
Chuck is not saying it's about PR at all.
deserves
He never
his
did.
Yeah.
Not some slap on the
He's doing
wrist.
this for a personal matter.
No,
Yes.
Howard. There's
Yes.
only one way forward. Let justice be done, though the heavens fall. Sorry to keep you waiting. This'll do nicely.
Howard is right though. Like
Good morning.
the document should have been at HHM.
Yeah,
In the
definitely.
matter of James M. McGill,
Makes sense.
State Bar intends to prove the
Is Hamlin, and McGill, right? Who's the other Hamlin?
my father.
Oh, I love his slight smile there. He's like, God damn it, you got
God
me.
damn it, Kim.
You son of a bitch.
Especially because she brought it up in an earlier season too.
Yeah,
As
she
well.
did. I like to think that he's angry and proud of
Yeah.
of who he helped. Who he helped her get to this point, basically.
Which partner was the most concerned with nepotism?
Charles McGill.
So Jimmy's own brother.
And so far, he's totally told the truth from how we understand it.
relevant here?
It's relevant to understand the relationship between these brothers.
We'll give you some leeway, Miss Wexler, but don't stray too far. Charles McGill is not the subject of this hearing.
Thank you.
I
Did Jimmy know his brother was the one that?
What, Joe?
I would feel like he's kind of is because he's the sole reason why Jimmy did all these things. But whatever.
Well, as the evidence has it, I mean,
Yeah.
Jimmy did these things. Motive aside, he did them.
Yeah.
And Kim is trying to give context, but I guess you could argue that the context is not needed necessarily.
Hiring him?
No, he did not. Eventually, he was hired by the firm of Davis and Maine. I'd be happy to say more about that, if you'd like.
No,
Thank you.
we're good.
When Charles is
They delay her flight so he can get some sympathy votes.
Thank you for your patience.
What, Joe?
Nothing.
First of all, whoever's flight that is, Jimmy seems stressed that it's delayed, and you're like, oh, did they delay it, the flight? No.
I thought so. It's her flight, I believe.
No. Why would that matter?
If we could.
But you feel better, right? Besides, it's your word against mine.
Ooh. This is, Mr. Kaye from Worm Bradley. I'm not gonna... I've seen worse.
I've seen worse.
But this is not good. This is... especially those last words. When it's cool because you see them at the season 2 finale and you're just freaking out, but then you get to watch them played in like a room without the scene, and it's just like, oh my god. Jimmy,
yeah, like when you hear those words said in court, it sounds really, really bad for you.
Also, this is the first time Kim would have heard all of this, so
oh yeah,
especially that confession about like I did it for Kim, that must be impacting her in some specific way. They're like, well, what are we even doing here?
All right. Mr. Riley, we need to make accommodations for your next witness. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Jimmy, a liar.
He would never. What time is it, kids? It's chicanery o'clock. Very excited. I can share with you guys a video about montages in this show and how the opening of this episode had this montage of like Jimmy and Kim getting ready for this day with the opening statement from the bar lawyer, and then you get to see them walk into this courthouse, and this scene here of Chuck coming into this courthouse is kind of like a dark mirror of that same scene. I'll share the video. It's very good. I can finally start sharing videos for this show because pretty much every video about this show kind of talks about this episode, so...
Oh boy.
It's like the minimum episode you gotta watch before you start watching video essays.
Excuse me. Sorry, sirs.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
He doesn't have to get in the small spaces.
You remember this guy, Bradley?
Oh my god. Origin of a legend. Legend of a hero.
This, my friends, is Huel. One of a very beloved side character in Breaking Bad. And as you'll recall, Bradley, Huel has a particular talent.
Do you swear or affirm to
His
tell the
face.
truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
AIDS was not identified properly until 1981. HIV wasn't known as the cause until 83. These things take time to unravel, even for doctors.
I'll say that's a pretty fair argument. Like, I gotta hand this one to Chuck. We know that it's in his head, but like, that's pretty convincing.
Yeah.
Would you say that your illness affects your ability to think clearly?
No, it affects me physically. It causes me great pain. However, I'm perfectly lucid. I love my brother. There's nothing malicious in Jimmy. He has a way of doing the worst things for reasons that sound almost noble.
You know, you know, now that you mention it, isn't that what's been happening in this show all along? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I love this dynamic because they're both so right and they're both so wrong. It's, these brothers.
But what I know for sure is that the law is too important to be toyed with. It's mankind's greatest achievement. The rule of law, the idea that no matter who you are, your actions have consequences.
Speculation. You can't prove is mankind's greatest achievement.
I fully believe Chuck here. Like, dialogue he said in the past has like it collaborates or corroborates. I'm using my lawyer speech here. That like Chuck cares very deeply about the law. It is what holds him together as a person, outside of all the shit with Jimmy.
Yeah, I agree.
It breaks my heart. That's why I did what I did. Not to hurt him, but to protect something that I hold sacred.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. The state bar rests.
I feel kind of shitty that you hold a figmentation higher than your actual brother.
Yeah, but I mean, when your brother is slipping Jimmy, it's like, well, that's... Do I believe in that, or do I believe in, like, the greatest achievement of humankind the way I see it? You know, it's fair. It's fair.
I'm sorry, my co-counsel and I need a moment to confer.
I'm just saying I don't agree with it.
Please be brief, Counselor.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But, like, we don't have siblings like Jimmy. Like, it's really easy to say, I would never do that to my brother. But, like, I'll say for myself, like, none of my siblings have been as destructive for my family as it seems like Jimmy's been. And I think that's what's really interesting. And I've seen a lot of people with this sentiment where it's like, I can't believe Chuck would treat Jimmy like this. Like, I saw a guy comment, it's like, if my brother told me he killed someone, I'd be like, okay, where are we hiding the body? I was like, whoa, hold on. Like, you have probably a very loving brother who you've never had any problems with and has never cost your family big distress.
I think that's also... I think there's a difference between running scams for quick money and literally murdering someone. That's a bit of a,
yes,
a jump.
That was a whole bad comment either way, but like... I think that comment was with the pre-idea that it's like, you had a loving brother up until they made that mistake, while Chuck has lived his whole life with Jimmy increasing in mistakes that... Don't forget that he stole from his family, which led to his father's death, and then he stole his mom's, like, last goodbye. So there's just all this built-up resentment, partially, though, because of stuff Jimmy did, and partially because Chuck being stuck in his ego and his pride and his feelings. So it's like, your situation with your siblings is just not what the McGill brothers have, and that's what's difficult to really grasp whenever you go through this show. Unless you do have this situation, in which case that's just interesting. Oh, hi.
Oh, boy.
There's that flight. So there's that flight that they were waiting on, and also that extra thing that Mike got Jimmy that he found in the address book would be Rebecca's phone and address.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yes, I'm sure. You've been sold a bill of goods, Rebecca. I want you to see what's what.
It's just not what I expected.
Yeah, what'd you expect?
I don't know, just not her.
Fair.
Fair. Look at them product placements for Lay's.
Yep.
Yep.
And pistachios.
Man, so I love how this episode started with that Rebecca scene to really heighten this. And I love Kim's line of, she's gonna hate you when this is over, and Jimmy just kind of swallowing it. But they gotta do what they gotta do.
Jimmy's ready to go for the throat punch. And
oh yes.
I understand.
At this time, I'd like to turn cross-examination over to my co-counsel, James McGill.
Nani?
Well, there's been a lot of fuss about it, but you and I have never really talked about this tape you made.
I feel like the lights are never on in this show. But I guess that makes sense, because...
I thought you were just shitting me, like, haha, funny joke, but you're serious?
No, I was remembering earlier whenever they were at their law office, and it's always so dark in there, even though Chuck wasn't around.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like it's just always dark in the show.
Yeah, but there's bright spots. When they're outside, like, the sun is fucking blaring.
I was in the wrong there, but still, I'd like to try and follow your story of why and how you recorded it.
Oh, is this where you claim the tape is spurious? That it's not really your voice?
No, that's me on the tape.
Suffering from it for some time, but I went to great lengths to conceal that fact from her. I'm sorry I deceived you, Rebecca.
Well, how much longer do we have in this episode?
This is a fucking soap opera, dude.
Why do you ask?
My parents were just asking for dinner. It's fine. I just need to know how.
You got like 10 minutes, 7 minutes.
Okay. Good. Cool.
Now Jimmy has outed me in front of you. You know why? To rattle me. He knows I still have a lot of feeling for my ex-wife. He's hoping this will break me down. Split me apart at the seams like a murderer confessing on an episode of Perry Mason. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Jimmy.
If I was in this courtroom, I'd be snacking on popcorn.
Michael Jackson popcorn gif.
Yeah.
To your satisfaction? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I do. Earlier you talked about other diseases, physical conditions you said. So, okay, if you'd had, I don't know, lung cancer, would you have told Rebecca then?
Damn.
If that had been the case, maybe I might have.
So how is this different?
Mr. McGill, move it along.
You don't have to answer that. I want to get down to brass tacks. I want to be very, very specific here. This illness, what does it feel like? You mentioned it's painful.
It is. There's a tightness in my chest, difficulty breathing.
Pocket and tell me what.
That's what I was thinking of.
Oh boy.
What now?
Ooh.
So the court was schizophrenic. It wouldn't take away from the fact that the defendant.
am not crazy.
Man, what a great way to tell people
Shut
that
up.
you're crazy.
I know he swapped those numbers. I knew
Dude,
it was
this is what I've been waiting for
12-16.
this episode.
One after Magna Carta, as if I could ever make such a mistake. Never. Never. That. No, he orchestrated it. Jimmy. He defecated
Sounds a little
through
crazy.
a sunroof. And I saved him. And I shouldn't have. I took him into my own firm. What was I thinking? I should have stopped him when I had the chance. And you have to stop him. You...
Oh.
Sounds crazy, Chuck. But he's not wrong. He sounds crazy, but everything he said was true.
Anything else?
No. Nothing further.
Damn. And it all comes out. Jimmy a little shook.
That's a good shot.
That's an excellent shot.
Holy shit.
Boy! How about that chicanery, huh?
God,
Every time...
That was one of those moments where I'm like, who am I rooting for? Because, like, Jimmy was trying to prove to the court that this condition of Chuck's is mental. And when he did prove it, I was like, yeah, go Jimmy. And then, Chuck starts going off and showing that he's crazy. And I'm cheering for it because he's been the villain. But then all this stuff that he's accusing Jimmy of doing, that makes him sound more crazy. But he's totally right. Like, Jimmy did set up that guy to fall off the billboard.
Yeah, every step of the way. But, like, during that speech, so Jimmy proving it to the board also proved it to Chuck. That's something that it's never really been proven to Chuck that it's in his head. He truly believes that this is real, right? But then when Chuck is going off, it proves to Jimmy that he's right. My brother does hate me, and he's bringing up these things from when I was 9. He's bringing up stuff from our childhood. He's hated me for this long. And that's just crushing. Oh my god. I've watched that scene so many times. I am always in awe of it. I can finally share the Ace Attorney parody of that clip. I've wanted to show it to Joe since I met him. I've wanted to show it. I've wanted to show it to Bradley since he started Breaking Bad. Oh, what a relieving day it is. Yeah. So that whole episode, it's a Rebecca scene. It's Jimmy and Kim getting ready, and then it's just the hearing, the entire episode, just this excruciating slow burn to that big explosion at the end. And that's just the halfway point of the season. There's still so many places to go.
And then at the beginning of the next episode, Mike and Hector run into the courtroom and they're brawling.
Yes.
And then Peter Griffin and the chicken come in the other door.
Dude, what if?
Oh, well, you just ruined my favorite show. Thank you.
You're
Cool.
welcome.
Any last things you guys want to bring up about the episode and all the chicanery within?
Good episode.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yep.
Yeah, those last few minutes are like exactly what I wanted out of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a lot of people's favorite episode. I'd say it's gotta be in the top 5, like top 5 even including Breaking Bad, because it's so cathartic and it also leads to a lot of stuff. So looking back on it, it's like, wow, this was great. Cool. Well, join us next time as we move on to episode 6, Off Brand.
Enough of this chicanery.
Enough. Bye-bye.